Welcome back to part 2 of being successful at work. So we're going to talk about how to be successful when you're an experienced person and you started a new job and you bring in some significant experience to the company. They probably got you from another company to, paid you more or something like that. Basically, they need you and you there to help them to be successful. So that's what we're talking about today. Of course, get the usual disclaimers out of the way. These are just my opinions, and I'm not telling you what to do. So think before you actually do something, and don't get fired because you listen to some guy on YouTube. All right, now let's start. All right, well, in the previous video, we talked about how when you're starting out, you should focus on your boss and try to keep your boss happy. Now, if you're experienced, that is not your focus. I know it's kind of weird, but you're actually not interested in your boss. What your focus should be is on a project. Your focus should be on the bigger picture. So either a project that you're working on for the company or your boss's boss. Your immediate boss is no longer important. I know it seems weird, but when you have experienced and you come in with a kind of higher expectations of moving company forward, your focus is bigger than your immediate boss. And that's how you should be thinking about this. So when you're in that position, you'll be expected to solve problems. And what you'll need to do is communicate very clearly. What are you going to do? What's going to be the solution? Maybe how you're going to do it. And then you're going to need to obviously deliver on what you're going to say. Now, one of the things to gain respect is by asking for space and time. A lot of times you'll be pushed like, no, we need this now, get it done quickly, and you're like, no. This is a complicated problem. I'm gonna need to take my time. Well, how much time you're gonna need? I'm gonna need 2 hours to research this and maybe solve it, or I need to write a script or something like that. And you'll need to be very clear that you need time and you need space, that you're not going to be working on other projects, you will not be rushed. Now, this may seem a little bit arrogant when you like pushing everyone back and say, no, I'm going to need time and space. But if you are successful at it, you will put yourself at a different level from everyone else, where in the future you will be given that time to solve a difficult problem that others couldn't solve. Right? Somebody will say, oh, well, no one knew how to do it. Okay, maybe this person can do it. And then they already know, like this person will take 3 hours, they'll walk away, and then after 3 hours, they'll come back with a solution. Right? They're not just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do something for 3 hours and maybe yes or no. So you'll establish yourself a person who can solve problems, and you will communicate clearly how much time you're gonna need, and you're going to demand that space and time. That's what's going to separate you from others. Here's another weird thing I found helpful to me. If you're working in a demanding environment where everyone has to get things done, and you're working with a bunch of people who, let's say, probably shouldn't be there. Maybe they were hired because they did great at the interview, but you and your team members feel like those people are not qualified, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, sometimes it's okay to step back and let people fail. I know it kind of sounds harsh, and you probably want to be a part of the team where everyone comes together and everyone has success as a company, right? But I found that sometimes you kind of have to compartmentalize, right? This person's handling this person handling that, and this person handling that. And if this person over there isn't doing a good job, you don't always have to run in there and try to help them, especially if they're not qualified, right? You just let them do their thing, and if they fail at it, they fail at it, right? And that's the best way to kind of figure out who should be working at a company or who does not. Because if you're going to run to your boss and say like, oh, this person sucks, they don't know how to do this, they're this and this, you just sound like a person who's whining and complaining. If you don't do anything and let that person fail naturally, your boss will get the message better than you complaining to them. Again, kind of a weird thing, but that's the thing that I had to do, is just say like, hey, I gotta step back and let these people do their thing. And if they fail, that's what it is. And along the same lines, you shouldn't get into every fight. If you're in a meeting and everyone's discussing how to do this and that, you don't have to argue every single time, especially when you're not the one handling the job. Just let other people do things their way, and even if it goes against what you think is best, let things work out on their own. If you're going to be fighting every single fight and trying to do things your way, you're going to come off as the guy who's just annoying and just complaining, and it's difficult to work with. Kind of unfortunate that's how it is, but don't get into every single fight in the company. Pick your battles, figure out which ones are most important to you, win just those, and then deliver success, saying that here's what I said we need to do, we did it this way, and now it's a good outcome. So next time you should listen to me. And that's basically how you kind of deal with multiple battles and fights. You're never going to win all the fights anyway. It's not your company to begin with. Now I know what I said in the beginning, don't worry about your immediate boss and focus on bigger projects and bosses. I think it's going to bother some people. The thing is, in a lot of companies, your immediate boss has less power than you think, right? Just because you would think, oh, they can just fire me anytime. But if you're in a senior position and you're getting things done, they're not going to fire you. They have no expectation. You shouldn't have any expectation that they're going to fire you, because you actively contributing to work, you're completing projects, and you're getting things done. And having them fire you because they not like you or something like that, they're going to lose more. So that's one of the reasons I think you shouldn't worry about your immediate boss. And then they also have to answer to the bigger boss, why did they fire you? This guy was doing great, what was the problem? So again, kind of a weird situation. I know I'm kind of saying it, don't worry about your boss, it goes against what everyone would be thinking. But that's been my mentality, and I was thinking about doing what is right. What is right for the company, what is right for the project, what needs to be done on the bigger level. And if somebody's not happy about whatever, it's fine. We want to make sure that the project is successful and the client is happy. And that's what's going to keep you employed. Now, I do realize what I said may not work for everybody or work when you're in every type of companies, but it's what worked for me when I was working in e-discovery in smaller to mid-sized companies. This is what helped me. This is the mentality that I was employing when I was there. So if you have any comments to add, put them in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you on another video.